Hello friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide. We're on August 30th, 2023. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet. Grateful to have you all checking in. Having a look here at our last 48 hours of imagery, looking at our sun. As no major solar flares were thwarted our way, but we did have a C.M.E. that may give us a glancing blow in the coming days from a moderate C-class solar flare. Looking at the last 48 hours incoming, this is from the cresting limb, the west side of our sun. Last 48 hours of imagery, these are the incoming sunspot regions, and as well plasma filaments there erecting on the right-hand side, creating a large plasma tornado. Having a look at the last 48 hours outgoing, and this is where we saw the C-class solar flare, which produced a coronal mass ejection. And I'm pretty sure it was from that most recent sunspot region. Having a look at multi-spectrum at the most active regions on our sun right now, and it remains in moderate C range. Noting activity coming in the southern cresting limb. Amazing images brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed here with Daily Events Worldwide. Thank you all for tuning in. Pretty amazing images here of our sun. Another look at 171 angstroms. This is where we can see our heliosphere, basically the magnetic fields of our sunspot regions, in which there are 5. Right now, 2 of them are very large, and they've been noted for the past week here with Daily Events Worldwide, and they have not yet produced anything major. So they're staying intact, and they're heading away, maybe to come around another day. And here are those big sunspot regions now, getting ready to turn away. Having a look at current space weather conditions, there are none to speak of. Solar winds still very low, 314 kilometers per second, and have been very stagnant over the past couple days. Solar X-ray flux, moderate C-class solar flares detected. The last 48 hours, solar proton flux is low. KP index hopped up to about a 2, and I'm sure that will increase over the next few days as we do have some cosmic energy coming our way. Looking at the ISWA space prediction spiral, looks like the 1st into the 2nd of September, we will get a glancing blow from this C.M.E. Little yellow circle there is our planet Earth, and all of that red and white is intense cosmic energy. Speaking of cosmic energy, this is our sun, brought to you by SOHO, by NASA satellites. And they've got an arm in front with that little disc in front so that we're not blinded by the light, and we're able to see the cosmic energy leaving the surface of the sun. And you can see in the last few images in this 48-hour clip, we did have a C.M.E. that will be coming our way, and it already is affecting, as you can see, the static increasing within that view. Now let's get to earthquakes for the past 24 hours. Having a look here at a Wolton 3D globe, we did have 5.3 and as well a 5.1 magnitude earthquakes here, Solomon Islands and as well New Caledonia, and southwards towards Fiji. Notable earthquakes here off the southeast of Australia, 4.4 and a 4.3. We did have a couple of those earlier last week. And as well, notable regions here, 4.7 Indonesia, right by C.M.E. volcano, and as well a 5.0 by Krakatoa. 4.6 there in Japan, 4.8 off the coast of Kamchatka, 5.1 earthquake, Aleutian Islands, Alaska, and as well an interesting Bering Strait, 4.7 magnitude earthquake. Don't normally see earthquakes there or report them. Off the coast of Oregon, 3.4 earthquake. Lots of seismicity North American plate right now, and it is increasing. Having a look at USGS, as they are reporting 254 earthquakes in the past 24 hours. And looking at the map right here, nothing major really stands out except for Alaska. And as well, a little bit of Puerto Rico here. Suarez, Puerto Rico, 4.2 magnitude earthquake. And then minor seismicity there, about 10 earthquakes reported there today. But we should be seeing more throughout this region, so we're kind of going through a lull, but not really. Interesting minor activity that is increasing across southern United States and, of course, the West Coast through California. But Missouri with a 2.0, Texas, Falls City, Texas, and westwards towards Toya, Texas, excuse me, Oklahoma. All this minor activity, but still, just note it as it has been increasing over this past little while. Having a look all around the California state, reporting 119 out of the 254 across the map. Notable there northward of Lake Tahoe, and as well northward of Salton Sea. Minor activity up into the Pacific Northwest, Washington towards Rainier, and as well Mount St. Helens. And then we get to Canada, as for some reason USGS doesn't want to compile all of the earthquakes together, but here's a quick look at a Canadian website that does show all of the earthquakes, and this is the past 7 days for earthquakes across Canada. All of the more yellow ones being the most recent, orange ones, and then pinks, but notable regions there, East Coast into Ottawa and Montreal, and of course West Coast here in Alberta, northern BC, but all along the coast there, Juan de Fuca northward to Alaska, and the Yukon Territory. 5.1 magnitude reported there back on my birthday, August 6th. So it's all about staying aware and prepared, folks. If you're living in an earthquake-prone zone, it's always good to have a go-bag ready. South American plate, largest through the region, being a 5.3 there at La Serena, Chile. No notable deep earthquakes to report the past 24 hours, which is strange, as we've seen quite a few recently. Notable here, 3.5 there in Randfontein, South Africa. And quiet across Europe, not much to report. Most of the activity is all across the Pacific plate right now, as we have been on watch for a while now. Deep earthquakes, Japan, very deep earthquake event there in Indonesia over the past week. And as well, deep earthquakes, India, China border. Not really enough activity here through Fiji. In my mind, we need to be seeing more activity to release the pressure, or we're going to see something big. And I'm still thinking the Kermadec, or quite possibly South Sandwich Islands, northwards to Africa. This is the last 7 days for shakers around the world. Notable, elevated circles there are the depths of the earthquakes. Now let's get to air quality, brought to you by our volcanoes that are erupting around the world, and as well, of course, the wildfires, devastating wildfires through Northwest Territories, as it has created quite a mess in our atmosphere right now. Looking at SO2 models for the next 3 days, Northern Hemisphere encompassed by nasty SO2 wildfire particulates. Noting there the wildfires and Mount Etna. And then we get to the Pacific plate here, where we have many erupting volcanoes through Guatemala and as well Kamchatka. Interesting SO2 models showing some streams of SO2 coming from the southern hemisphere, maybe from the mighty Erebus volcano. Around the rest of the world, quick little glance there at the southern hemisphere, overlooking Europe and Russia, Africa, Indonesia. Most of this SO2 is from volcanoes. Having a look here at the tropical systems that have developed over this past week. This is the last 7 days for satellite imagery overlooking the Atlantic and as well the Pacific. Multiple spinning low-pressure systems coming out of the central Atlantic, Gulf of Mexico. Idalia kind of blew up overnight, Monday into Tuesday, made landfall early, 2 a.m. on a Wednesday. We've seen multiple systems develop across the United States from cold fronts. Just wait, we're going to see even more coming up here soon, as fall is just around the corner. But we're also going to see multiple hurricane status storms develop here in the Atlantic. Speaking of which, we have 9 of them spinning right now. Having a look at satellite imagery across the Atlantic and as well North America, noting here all of the wildfire smoke coming from the Northwest Territories and Yellowknife and Yukon. And then, of course, a tropical storm Idalia has downgraded now, but was a very fast-moving storm and at one point was reported as a Category 4 hurricane as it made landfall. And as well, we've got Tropical Storm Franklin still alive and heading north and northeastward. Big cold front coming from the Hudson Bay will cut off these storms, so they will not be making landfall through the Atlantic provinces. Idalia may ride the coastline and get rammed back northward. Stay tuned for the forecast. Having a look here at the last few images of satellite imagery from today, brought to you by Zoom Earth. So we have Invest Area 11, Invest Area 94L, Franklin, Idalia. We've got Cyclone Irwin in the East Pacific, and as well Invest Area 90C, Tropical Depression Kurogi. We also have Haiku. Oh, interesting. Hannah. In other names, Hannah. Haiku is heading through the West Pacific, just past Guam, and it looks like it will be making landfall Shanghai, China. But we've also got Super Typhoon Goring, who made landfall in the Philippines. Thoughts and prayers going out to everybody affected by tropical systems and as well natural disasters around the world. Stay aware and prepared, everybody. And as well, stay safe and healthy. I'm grateful to have you all watching. Grateful to have you all as a part of this loving and giving community. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily due. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.